Oh man, so we got a lot to talk about tonight. But we kind of wanted to start out with talking about the show this year in 2020, and just kind of recapping some of the cool stuff that happened. So why don't you kind of
Of
take it away
course.
and start with us here?
Oh man, like where to start, right? Like it's been such a incredible journey. We talk about it so many different times of how it's kind of hard to believe that we're still doing this.
Mm,
What was once a casual conversation in an arcade in a driveway, we're still doing this, and it feels really good.
yeah.
This year has been obviously challenging for I think everybody, but we managed to kind of just plug away and keep consistent with putting out episodes, and with the podcast being something that we do from home, it only made sense to just keep rolling with it. We could have easily checked out and just been like, you know what, man, I'm just depressed and like COVID sucks, and we're just gonna like take this hiatus.
Mm,
And I'm glad that we didn't. We kept gaming, we kept doing reviews, we kept getting guests on,
hmm.
and honestly, it's been kind of this wild blur, where I can't even really remember who we've had on the show this year. When Jimmy is like, "Oh, obviously the best guest is himself," I was like, "Man, I don't even remember who's been on the show this year."
I know, like I'd have to go back and like really look at the episode releases and check the titles. Thank God it's in the titles, but um, I remember listening to Salt City Games Cast, and shout out to those guys. It's a great podcast if you're looking for something to add to your collection. Um, it's a trio that records that show, and they were in the habit of recording in person. They all live locally with each other in Salt Lake City, and the three of them would get together in the same room, talk about games, drink heavily, and that was their thing. And when they started recording remotely, I remember there was some kind of bumps in the road as they kind of learned the process and got used to it. And I feel in a way lucky that you and I have been fortunate enough to have always been doing this over the internet. We live in the same state, but we do not live nearby. It's an hour
We don't.
drive without traffic, and that presents its own challenges. So for us, getting together to record was always the special episode. Recording remotely was the norm. Um, so it was kind of an easy adjustment. I feel it was just a
Mhm.
matter of just staying motivated to keep going. And God damn it, man! Like even like sometimes I'll come home and I'm exhausted. I don't want to do anything, but I really still want to record. Like I've never lost that motivation to like just sit down and talk about games with you for an hour, and chatting with the Discord room. We have a wonderful Discord room. Uh, I'm really proud of that, and all the people that are in there talking about all different types of games for all different systems and platforms. Couldn't have asked for anything better.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. And I think you make a really good point. Doing this podcast remote has always been the norm for us.
Right.
So for all the folks that are doing these in-person podcasts, what an adjustment they had to make.
Yeah. But it's kind of crazy, man. Like in a way, like 2020 has also become the year of the podcast because you had a lot of people that were in quarantine and like, this podcasting thing sounds cool. Let's do it. And there's a
Hmm.
lot of people that have started up their own shows, or maybe, restarted a show that kind of fell off the wagon for a little while, or whatever the case is. And whether it's our show or another show, podcasting is an art form, and it's one that I truly love. I love listening to podcasts. I love recording podcasts. I love being part of that community. So, if you guys have a favorite podcast that you want to share with us, swing on by our Discord room, drop us a link, let us know, or maybe hit us up on Facebook or Twitter, or drop a link in the chat if it's able to. You might not be able to. I think I locked that down. We got spammed a couple weeks ago. So
We did. We did.
uh but yeah, man. And it's kind of been a weird year too, because we made the transition to doing video. And
We did.
this is only our 7th episode doing Twitch streams, but it's been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun, and it's new for us. Obviously we haven't been on video ever until recently,
Right.
and I'm enjoying it. It's literally showing our faces to the world and to the fans, and I think that's way overdue in some ways. And I think a lot of podcasts are migrating into that video territory, whether it's Twitch,
Mm,
YouTube, or some other platform.
right.
I think it's a good way to make podcasts a little bit more intimate.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch the Joe Rogan podcast years ago, back in like 09, 2010. And I really enjoyed watching the podcast because you
Right.
can actually pick up on behaviors and personality traits and things that you can't get via audio. So I think
Mm.
it's a really good move for us.
That's a interesting point, and not something I had really considered, but I guess like it makes sense, because you have somebody that you ask a question and maybe they pause to think about the answer, and you'll get that like eye look to the side. Like I just did it myself before I replied to you. Little
Hmm.
subtle details that you might have missed otherwise. Um, I know on a personal level, like I do the hands thing a lot, and it's given me an opportunity to be a little bit more animated, because like I'm a very animated person. When you see me and when I have a conversation, not necessarily the Italian kind of stuff, but I do like a lot of like mannerisms, and it's just part of my nature. And plus you can watch me drink this beer.
Yeah, I was thinking of some clever, witty Italian Sopranos thing to say, and all I came up with was "pass the breadsticks." It's not even an Italian accent.
Pass the breadsticks. That might be our episode title.